Now, I did a little bit of a switcheroo on you guys. All right, we did how to get more members first. That was kind of to get your attention and to hopefully get you excited. But the truth is, retention is number one, always is number one. And everybody gets that and everybody understands that until pressure builds in the business, until money's a little bit tight. And then we start freaking out and we go, oh, I need more members, I need more members. All right? But the truth is, if you don't have systems in place to make sure you can keep your members and systems that happen every week without fail, it's kind of like the old circus trick of spinning plates, right? You get your retention systems, your retention practices well, but you have to do it. It's not systematized. And the second you go over to get more members, that starts to fall. And congrats, you got 4 new members this week, but you started dropping the ball on retention and you lost 5. And now we're walking backwards. And the hole in your bucket gets bigger and bigger and bigger. All right. It's obviously a lot cheaper to keep members than it is to get new ones, but who cares about that? We're coaches at the start of the day. And what we care about is I can't change people's lives if they keep leaving. So we need to keep them. Cool. So what we're going to cover is we're going to define retention really quick. It seems obvious, but it's a little bit more nuanced. We're going to talk about the different types of retention. There's 2 main types and which one to focus on first. Then, like I said, we're going to get into the practical stuff, the systems. All right, we've got 2 systems. First one is new member retention system, and the second one is absent member retention system. Cool? All right, what is retention? The short version, and it's a real dangerous answer, is everything. All right? Your coaching, retention. Your programming, retention. Your facility and how beautiful it is filled with Eleiko gear, retention. Your attitude and your leadership skills towards your team, retention. Your bathroom, retention. Everything is retention, which is great. Except when you start coming up with ideas. We call it the curse of the cool idea. And then you realize you can justify anything with retention. Ooh, I kind of want 10 new rowers because that's fun, because retention. I want to add this specialty class that I just want to teach this cool new skill I just learned because of retention, right? Retention is every little experience within your gym, but you've got to be really careful and disciplined not to use retention as an excuse to just do whatever cool stuff you like, right? The furniture designer Eames had a great saying, the details are not the details, they are the product. And that's what retention is, all right? Yes, you're coaching and how amazing you are being a level 4,000 whatever coach, all right? And your cool facility and how sexy it is and your programming that you spend all this time on, and that's all retention, but so is your bathroom and how clean it is. And so is the attention that you give your members before and after class. And so is the support that you give those members when they go through the ebbs and flows that normal people go through with training. All right? So we have to understand that it's every little thing, and also understanding that what matters to you isn't necessarily what matters to your members. Right? Putting all your eggs in the coaching and programming basket because that's what you love, your members might not see that as much of a reason to stick around as clean bathrooms and off-the-floor service. Cool? So retention is everything, so including the stuff you don't like to do. Types of retention. We've got 2 main types of retention. We have active retention. All right? Active retention is all of the things we do to stop members from ever wanting to leave. All right? This is our priority. All right? If this was medicine, this is preventative care. Then we have reactive retention. Reactive retention is what we do when a member shows a behavior that they might want to leave. All right? This is the cure. All right? This is the difference between sunscreen and cutting the mole off. Which one should I put more focus on? Which one should I really try and perfect first and foremost, do you think? Sunscreen, right? Active retention. Do everything you can so that members never want to or are very unlikely to want to ever leave. Cool? We're going to talk a little bit about some systems and some actions, and these are all things. One thing I forgot to mention at the start, and I think this is really important when it comes to who I am. Like I said, I dropped out of school at 16. I'm a functioning moron, all right? Nothing I say here is going to blow your mind. Almost, hands up if what we just spoke about in that first half is just a version of things you've already done or thought of. Show of hands. Right? Yeah, it's not crazy, it's not special, this isn't revolutionary stuff. Right? The difference is the details and that it gets done. all right? What matters is that your members receive that outcome. When we talk about these next few little bits and pieces, I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of people who go, yep, we do that, through automations, mainly email automations, all right? Looking after our new members, getting in touch with our absent members, that's nothing special, all right? I'm not a genius for putting that up on the screen. The difference is it's usually done in an automated way, right? We've got all of these really cool member management systems like Wodify and Zen Planner and PushPress and local versions, and they can do a lot of this stuff for us. And there's a lot of stuff that should be automated. Someone checks in for a class, that should be automated, all right? Their credit card details are ready to expire, that should be automated. But we can't automate care, all right? We can automate the action of care. We can make sure that there's a system to make sure that we care, but I don't want to outsource the care to a system, right? So when we're talking about retention, we're just talking about care. We're talking about giving a shit, right? I can't have a member who hasn't been in for a month and then they receive a clearly automated message that says, hey, Johnny, we haven't seen you in a month and we really miss you. If you really missed me, you would have picked up the damn phone and told me you missed me, all right? It's the same thing. I'm traveling right now. I miss my wife and daughter. It's busy, it's chaotic, I'm jet lagged. I have to make sure I connect with them every single day and that I don't forget to do that. I could just set up an automated email to my daughter and say, dear daughter, I miss you very much, signed tight. But that's not going to be it, right? But I do have alarms set up so that I never forget to call her personally. The alarms are the automation of the action, not the outcome. So be very careful. Automations are brilliant, but we're still a person-to-person business, all right? Use the automations to guarantee the humanity, not to replace the humanity. With that being said, new member retention. So let's see if I get this number right. So according to Wodify, they did a study of, I think it was their 15,000 gyms, and in the first 60 days, yes, in the first 60 days was when 48%, I'm messing these numbers up, 46% of all cancellations happen in the first 60 days, right? Now, if you're sitting here going, not at my gym, number one, is that a feeling, or do you have a spreadsheet that proves that? And number two, this is a big average over a lot of gyms. Like, I've worked with a lot of gyms, and that's pretty spot on. Forget about the money for a second. Think about people's lives that you could have changed. You're not changing people's lives in 60 days, right? Besides making them sore and uncomfortable, and now they've got a pair of nanos that they don't know what to do with, right? Think about what you're missing out on making the change that we all know we can make in people's lives just because we don't have simple systems. These two systems I'm going to show you are the majority of the retention we do. They have the biggest impact, and between the two of them, they might take 20 minutes a week, max, and they're easy. Cool? So we have to focus on new member retention first. We can't afford to let these people down. Step number one for new member retention, examine your onboarding experience, all right? What is the purpose of your onboarding experience? What are you trying to achieve? This is a question that throws most box owners, right? If I say, tell me, identify for me exactly what your onboarding process is designed from scratch to achieve. Or did you just copy the onboarding program from the gym you were at? Or are you just doing, as I was told last week, a mini level one, right? What are you doing for these people and what is the point of it? Or are you just trying to teach them movements, maybe sooner than they need those movements? Are you educating them about this process? Are you instructing them or making them aware of the ups and downs of this process, that they're going to be a little bit sore? And that soreness, as long as it falls within these parameters, is okay and part of the journey, right? Are you nurturing them through, right? Long gone are the bad old days of CrossFit where it was, look, if you can survive the first 2 months, you're in, right? We're not changing people's lives that way. We need to understand that this is a long journey and that this on-ramp is a very small part of that journey, and it needs to support that first few weeks, right? It's not just there to just drill a bunch of movements into their face and hope that they stick around. We're there to do everything we can. We might even have to make some compromises in the short term, some things that we usually wouldn't do as coaches in the short term to make sure that they stick around for the long time when I can really affect their lives. So step number one is break down your onboarding process and look at every single step of it and ask yourself, you're not even your average member, you're below average member, all right? That 45-year-old mum of three who's been sitting on the couch, never done anything athletic, is scared shitless of stepping into your gym. how does she feel doing your onboarding process? Because there's only 2 results here, right? It's a simple scale. At one end is the way most people feel, which is, I can't do this. And at the other end is, oh, I can do this. Everything you say, every action you do, every movement you instruct, every workout they do moves that needle one way or the other. Cool? We want to be doing this again and again and again. So examine your onboarding process. Then I'm going to break down the new member experience into 3 arbitrary points. All right? 2 weeks, 4 weeks, and 6 weeks. Why 2, 4, and 6? I don't know. Do 3, 4, and 8. Do whatever you like. It's so that there's a schedule behind it. All right? If we put a schedule behind it, you'll do it. If we can put it in our calendar, if we can automate it in our member management system, it'll get done. What we don't want to do, and this is what a lot of us do, especially when you're small, is just eyeball it. Be like, oh, you're new in class. All right, I'll just check in with you really quick. And, oh, you've been here for about a month. How are you doing? Is everything okay? That's the right thing to do. And when you've only got 20, 30 members, you can juggle that many balls. All right, but if you really want to grow, if you really want to affect people's lives, you need to automate the action and then personalize the outcome. So the way we're going to do that is every week, we usually do this on a Monday because retention comes first. Monday comes first. Look at that. We're going to print off a list of all new members, divide them into 2 weeks, 4 weeks, and 6 weeks. And then we're just going to reach out to each one of these members in the most personal, world-class service way that we possibly can. What form of communication might we use to do this? Video message. Yeah, everyone, no one wanted to say it because they're like, I'm not saying it. He won't tell us to do it if I don't fucking... No, you can do a video message. Why? Because you can. You have a face. You have a phone. Use them. Yes, you can send an automated message and it's going to mean nothing. It's going to slip through the cracks and you're doing that whole automating care thing again. All right, these video messages will take you 20 to 30 seconds, just like the zombies. You'll be done like that. And by the way, if it takes any more than 10 minutes, cool. That just means you've got a shit ton of new members. Life's good, right? So at the 2-week mark, I'm going to identify the most common pain points. Usually the most common pain point is literally pain points. All right, I'm going to reach out to them and I'm going to support them. I'm going to give them the world-class service. I'm going to make sure they understand that this is okay. This is part of their journey. But if they do need any help, I'm here for them, right? So the 2-week video message, let's see if I butcher this like I did the zombie messages, is going to be, hey, Jono, Coach Ty here. Hope you're well. I just saw that you've been training now for 2 weeks. Congratulations for sticking it out that long, man. I just wanted to reach out and see how you're feeling, how training's going, how you're finding classes, and see if you're sore, if you've got any kind of mobility stuff. Look, I'm your coach. I'd love to help. So let me know, how are you feeling? How's classes going? And how can I help? Cool. And then I look down the list. I go to the next person. I repeat myself. Next person, next person. That's it. All right. Now, maybe they don't respond. Most people don't respond, by the way. This is one of those very few occasions when it's the thought that counts. Just the fact that you took the time, and it was you, they can see it. All right, maybe in a couple of years we'll be able to fake this with AI and our faces and it'll get scary. But for now, they can tell that you took the time to reach out to them in a really personal way and check in and see if they're okay. And they can see it in your face. All right? It's not monotone and neutral like an email or a text message. They can see you actually give a shit. Now notice I asked 3 times then, let me know, let me know, please let me know. Quite often I'll say, it's literally my job, let me know, right? Because sending the message, that bumps the needle. But if they actually ask for help and you actually give help, now that's big boy points, all right? Now you've really, really moved the needle. Cool. So what I don't want to do here is a platitude. You know, when people go, just let me know if you need anything, right? And what they're actually saying is, please don't bother me, all right? I want to make sure that they understand this is, I'm not being polite. I actually want to help. 4-week mark is going to be the same sort of thing. I'm just going to offer them world-class service, all right? That's just a really fancy way of saying whatever they need. Same sort of video. Hey, Johnny, hope you're well. I've just seen that you've hit the 4-week mark. You've done a month of CrossFit. Incredible, dude. Congratulations. A lot of people don't make it this far. Keep in mind how hard this is for them, right? This might be your life and has been your life forever. But for them, 4 weeks of doing this, that's a big deal. They might never have stuck with a fitness program for 4 weeks, all right? So give them the props that they deserve, all right? I just want to check in and see how you're doing with classes. Right? I don't know how they're going now, right? 2 weeks, I know they're probably sore. 4 weeks, I don't know what they're going through. So I'm just going to throw it out there. So just checking in, see how you're finding classes, see how you're feeling, fitting in with the community. If you're able to come to our events, if you need any advice or help with nutrition or sleep or anything that you're struggling with, just let me know. It's literally what I'm here for. That's it. 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and you've just bumped that needle pretty significantly. Last one. We're going to go a little bit harder on this one. We're going to get their eyes looking up to the future, all right? Because around 6 weeks is when it can really start to get tough, and this is when they can start to have some real doubts of like, what am I doing? Why did I do this? This is insane. It was exciting at first. I got all the cool new gear, and it was a little bit sore, but it was fun. Now I'm in the routine, right? Now winter's kicking in. It's dark. It's cold. What am I doing? All right? Now we're going to remind them what they're doing. We're going to invite them in to do a goal-setting session. This goal-setting session is going to be 5 minutes max. All right? We're not here to talk and get excited. This isn't a Tony Robbins motivational session. We're here to get them in and to identify external goals that they can achieve internally. What I mean by that is respecting that we are the CrossFit fanatics, not them. They're humans with real lives. CrossFit should enhance their life. It should enable them to do things they never did before. Right? The goal of CrossFit shouldn't be to do more CrossFit, right? Which is something that we've really lost in the last decade in this community, right? The point of CrossFit is now you can do more CrossFit and bigger CrossFit, right? No, the goal of CrossFit is this 50-year-old member who came in because he could barely walk up the stairs, he can now go rock climbing with his kids, right? This member who came in because she was insecure about her body is now going to rock a bikini this summer and feel fucking amazing, all right? What happens out there affects their lives a lot more than that PR they just hit in here. All right, so when we sit down to do this goal-setting session, we're going to have a little postcard. Again, physical in a digital world stands out. And I usually ask a very broad but powerful leading question of, when you think about your fitness, your physicality, what you can do with your body, who do you see yourself as? Like, who is your superhero version of yourself? Right? Well, man, I've always wanted to be that mum who can do all the shopping in one trip. I just want to be strong and capable. I've always wanted to be that dad that can go on adventure hikes and do Tough Mudders with their kids, right? Whatever it is, identify their goals in the real world, because those goals are emotionally attached. Very few people are emotionally attached to their Fran time, right? And they're usually pains in the asses, if we're honest, right? I want to know what they're emotionally attached to out there, and then it's my job as the coach to work out what the CrossFit version of connecting those two dots are. Oh, you want to get stronger so you can do that thing? All right, let's set this physical goal for you over the next 6 months. Cool? Then I write that on a card. They sign the card. I sign the card. I take a photo of the card, because that's going to become very important later on if they're ever an absent member. They take that card home. Now they've got some goals. We've got some accountability. Everyone's happy. Cool? That took me infinitely longer to explain that process than it will take you to do that process with your members. By the way, if you start this tomorrow with your members, don't freak out that you're going to have 300 people book in. All right, usually if you're really good at this, maybe 40% of your members will ever take you up on this, right? And you schedule it out over a period of time. Cool? Now, if you're looking at this going, Ty, goal setting, it's too much. I'm busy. I've got shit going on. I can't do that. Cool. Just replace that with anything else, all right? As long as there's 3 points of contact to show them in a really personal, high, world-class way that you care, I don't care what it is. Just show your members that you care. Don't let it happen incidentally when you remember, if you're on the ball that day. Cool? So that's new member retention in a nutshell, all right? Do this, based on what we've been doing for the last 10 years, you'll double the amount of members that stick around for more than 60 to 90 days. Cool. How much is that worth to you financially? How much is that worth to them in terms of their long-term fitness health? Right? All right, next one, absent members. So now we're switching to the cure, right? Whatever's happened, maybe it's something we did in the box or didn't do, or maybe it's something going on in their personal life, but whatever's happened, they've fallen off the bandwagon. All right, we need to sort it out. We need to get in touch with them. We're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to set 4 arbitrary touch points, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and 4 weeks. and we're going to reach out to them. How are we going to reach out to them? Video messages. Yes, whoever said that, video messages is correct. All right, and it's going to be exactly the same thing. All right, I'm not going to go through every single one. It's exactly what you think it is. The only thing that's going to change here is as we go through these, they're going to escalate, right? There's a lot of people look at this and they go, really, Ty, 1 week? You're going to reach out to a member who hasn't been in for 7 days? That happens, right? People just get busy, whatever. It's just got to be proportionate, right? If a member isn't in for 7 days and you turn up to their house in the pouring rain with a boombox on your shoulder saying, I want you back, it's going to be a bit much, right? But this is going to be the equivalent of bumping into them at the shops and going, oh, hey, I didn't see you last week. Is all good? You're going to be in tonight? Awesome, I'll see you then. That's all it is. Video message that is exactly that. 2 weeks, we're going to up it a little bit. All right, now we're going to, hey, haven't seen you for a few weeks. I get it, life gets busy, but we'd love to see your face back in the gym. So just let me know that you're all good. Let me know you're still alive, and hopefully I'll see you tonight. All right. Then 3 weeks, we're going to up the empathy again. Notice what I'm upping, by the way. I'm upping empathy. I'm not being the old school coach that I was 10 years ago, where you go, what, are you not committed? I thought you wanted to do CrossFit. Do you want to get yoked or not? Right? It's the opposite. Right? I get it. You're a human. You're just a normal person, right? This happens. 3 weeks. Hey, Johnny, we haven't seen you in a couple of weeks, man. I get it. Life's busy. You've got the kids. You've got this new job. But I also understand how important those goals were to you, and you were so close to getting them. So let me know that you're okay, and let me know what I can do to help you get back in the gym. Cool. And then 4 weeks, we're going to up it one more time. Now, there's an optional part at the end of the 4 weeks that you can do. I say optional, it works. I promise it works. This one I've been doing for 20 years. But a lot of people are uncomfortable with it, so I say it's optional. Hey, Johnny, hope you're well. Coach Ty here. Look, I just want to reach out. I haven't seen you in 4 weeks now, and I get it. Life is crazy. You've got so much going on, but I also know how committed you were, and you were getting such good results, dude. So let me know. Let me know you're okay. Let me know what's happening. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you get back into class. And look, if you're done with this, that'll make me really sad, but I don't want you paying for something you're not going to use. So if you're done, let me know. I'll cancel your membership right now. Anyway, let me know you're okay, and hopefully we see you soon. Cool? So obviously the optional part was, if you're done, let me know, and I'll cancel your membership right now. Now, a lot of box owners, especially if you're struggling for cash, you go, oh, I don't like that. But here's the truth. If Johnny's going to quit, Johnny's going to quit. If he's made that decision, you saying, if you want to quit, I'll let you quit, isn't going to change. It's not going to change the outcome. All right? What it is going to do for the majority of people is that they're not absent because they want to quit. Right? They're absent because life is bigger than just CrossFit. They've legitimately got other shit going on. Who here played sports as a kid? Right? Yeah. Remember your coach as a kid? Remember how much you looked up to them? All right, if they patted you on the back and went, good play, you were like, wow, right? I don't know if this ever happened to you guys, but I definitely had it where I didn't turn up to practice for a few weeks, and coach would pull you aside and go, hey, dude, if you're done with football, just let me know and I'll cut you from the team, and it'll be easy. And oh, no way, right? I don't want to get cut from the team. It's the same thing here. The majority of people, you'll say, look, if you're done with it, that's fine. I'm sad to see you go, but I don't want you paying for something you're not using. Right, so just let me know and I'll cancel your membership. If you haven't had a reply up to this point, you've got a really high chance of getting a reply, and the reply is usually like, hey coach, no, I'm just being lazy. I've got a lot of stuff going on. Please don't cancel my membership. I'll be back in next week. Cool. So you're kind of putting their feet to the fire a little bit. And if you're going to lose them, you're going to lose them. There's nothing you can do about that. Cool. Notice how often I showed concern and empathy. There was no judgment whatsoever. All right. Look, they're just humans. They're already probably not feeling great that they're not coming to training. Personally, they're not feeling great. They feel like they're letting the coach down. They feel like they're letting their members down. Remember, and this is a really uncomfortable truth, but just like with your coach as a kid, a lot of us have a hierarchical relationship with our members that makes us uncomfortable to realize, right? You might have a member that's 20 years older than you, that in society traditionally is, they're richer than you, they have a better job than you, all of that stuff, and they look up to you, right? Just because of your relationship as a coach. And that's a really uncomfortable thing to realize, but you have to realize that that relationship, right? So we can't be showing these people judgment. That's so incredibly brutal to them, right? We're here. Look, I get it. I'm not judging you for not coming in. Life's a bitch sometimes, all right? I'm going to show them empathy, and I'm going to take responsibility. Notice how many times I said, let me know what I can do to get you back in the gym. And I mean that. Like, if they need something, if they're sore or they've got an injury that I can manage, or if there's something I can do to help them get back in, cool, awesome, for sure, right? It's not just about getting them back into this class now. That little extra bit of help, that might be the thing that keeps them around for another 5 years. Cool? So no judgment, lots of empathy, and we're going to take responsibility. And lastly, this goes with everything, right? But consistency is king. I see a lot of people who get excited after an event like this, right? I've done 50-something seminars like this, and people get fired up, and they go back to their gyms, and they go hard on the systems for 3 weeks. And then other stuff gets exciting, right? And other stuff gets in the way, and it drops off. This is why systems are so important, all right? If you don't do it 100% of the time, it's a fail, right? Consistency is king. Do it every single week. The first system, maybe 10 minutes a week if you've got a steady stream of new members, right? The second system, it's reactive retention, which is great. The better you do that second system, the less you do that second system, right? It's beautiful. Thoughts, questions, queries, doubtful points? Hit me.
Both in and out, because
for sure.
100 new people coming in, but we have 60 going out.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you approach such a system when we're talking?
Absolutely. You need someone dedicated to this role. Yeah. I would argue, very unpopular opinion, I would argue that retention as a role, as a responsibility, is more important than coaching, right? I can change people's lives with okay coaches. I can't change people's lives if I don't have someone responsible for retention. Right? I'm not doing anyone any favors if I keep my members for an average of 2 or 3 months. So if it matters enough and retention matters enough, find someone, train them, give them the tools they need, give them the support, and then leave them alone to grow the role and to get good at it. But again, 100 members, this might just be a day now, but it's, even with 100 members, I'd probably say a half a day would be all of this stuff together. Now, like I said, retention's everything. So our retention system on our list is 16 different systems, I think, and we could probably add another 20 pretty easily. But in terms of bang for your buck, these two are the fastest, and they get the highest result. But yeah, big numbers just mean big numbers. Big numbers of members means big numbers of staff, unfortunately. What you don't want to do is go the automation route to make life easy. You can go automation, but you have to accept that your level of service has dropped, which means the value has dropped, which means your price has to drop. And that's not the route we want to go. We're going to talk prices tomorrow. We're going to talk making more money. We're going to talk price rises, all the stuff I know a lot of you guys are keen on. Dropping prices is never the answer, especially not right now. So I want to ask, well, I need my prices to go up, but my prices can't go up unless my value goes up. My value can't go up unless my service goes up. So let's start with the service. So yeah, I'd need someone dedicated to this role. And who should be in charge of retention? Whoever cares the most. This is going to sound weird, but that's probably not the owner. Because we care most days, right? Then there's other days we walk in and we just, I don't care. I'm done. I'm cooked. I'm tired. I've been doing this 20 years. Right? I want the member or the coach or just whoever who, if you say, hey, we haven't seen Joanne in a few days, and they go, oh no, are you serious? I got to call Joanne, right? That's who should be in charge of retention. But yeah, good question, man.
So that
Questions?
Like a coach as well?
No, not at all. Not at all. It can be a member. Yeah, it can be someone external. Hiring external presents its own challenges, but it means that the pool you can hire from, the talent pool, is a lot bigger. But yeah.
But normally, like, people don't want to have another stuff to do as well.
They can have a lot of stuff. Like,
yeah, like it's adding more job for the owner if the owner is going to do all the retention.
yeah, absolutely. Also, retention happens every week.
Yeah.
No ifs, no buts, never stops, right? As an owner, I want you gone, go away, go on holiday, go hang out with your families, take a long weekend, all right? No one's impressed that you're doing 60 hours a week, all right? I'm impressed that you can go away for 6 months and the box runs without you. You can't have any roles that are weekly, super necessary roles. So yeah, I want to hand this off. Good one, yeah.
But you wouldn't add on the retention role to an existing coach in your gym?
You can, absolutely. I'll add the retention role to the right person. If it's a coach, great. That's just super convenient, right? It means that I get one step closer to having that coach with a full livable wage and being able to turn this into a career instead of a job. But it has to be the right person. Yeah, great question. All right, one more question. Is retention. It matters, guys. Nothing? I explained, what you guys are saying is I explained everything perfectly. Everything was clear, no questions. Good work me, right? We can all agree, good work me. Awesome, guys. Well, thank you so much. Look, I'm here for the rest of today. I'm here tomorrow. I've only got 2 more bits tomorrow. I'm going to be around. I flew all the way around the country. I'm not going to not hang out and help. So if you see me, come grab me. Right? I usually charge a hell of a lot of money for one-on-one coaching, so come and steal me, pick my brains. I'll give everything I can give away for free. So please bother me. That's literally what I'm here for. Sounds familiar. All right, guys, thank you so much. That's how we keep members longer.